Hey guys, and welcome to Overland NZ. You join us in a shed. I managed to wrangle quite a nice workspace for today's project, and Chloe's back. She's been in a video for a little while, and it's nice to have her back on the channel and helping out with, well, roped into one of the projects I'm working on today. So the team at Bushwrapz have sent us a PPF kit for the Fortuner. They have just launched it, and they're also just launching into the New Zealand market. You can now order from their website and they'll ship directly to your door. So PPF, obviously, like, you know, we bought a brand new vehicle at the start of the year, and I probably should have done this before I went to the South Island, but I want to try and protect the paint as much as possible for kind of three reasons. Number one, I want to go through the bush and be less concerned about it. And number two and three are kind of the same thing, kind of not. Modern paint on vehicles is reasonably soft, and like this is done, I don't know, 16,000 Ks or something now, and there are a bunch of stone chips and stuff on it, and on that kind of the panels are quite thin too, and I've just had my dents taken out where somebody opened their door onto me, and so a product like the Bushwrapz PPF will just help, I guess, reduce the stone chips, reduce the chances of dents coming through. So yeah, today's job is basically, there's a bunch of PPF panels in here, pre-cut for the Fortuner, and we're going to figure out how to install them. So one super important thing to do before you apply a PPF to any vehicle is give it a thorough clean. So me and little dude went around the other day and just gave it like a real good wash, as we haven't for ages. And then today when we got here, I went over it again and just focused on the panels that we're putting the PPF onto, which is this one, the doors and the front guard there. I then got a clay bar and just kind of took off all those surface contaminants that I don't want to get stuck between the paint and the PPF film itself, as over time they will kind of end up, you know, rubbing together and damaging the paintwork. None of this is hard, it just takes a little bit of time to do.
So this is the box that we got from Bushwrapz. It's got your squeegee and your slip, which you use to apply the wrap, and then these pre-cut panels which you just order from their website. You choose your vehicle when they ship them and pre-cut to the right shape for you, which we will now unroll and start to apply to the Fortuner.
So one super handy thing about Bushwrapz as a company, I guess, is that they provide you with all these videos about how to install the wrap on your specific vehicle. So I gave them a watch last night, and super useful, kind of nice just to know what I'm getting myself in for, and the tips and tricks to get rid of the sort of crinkles and stuff that do happen. So kind of cool. Like, I was a bit nervous about tackling this myself, and watching this, it looks relatively easy, straightforward. We'll find out, but it just kind of instills some confidence. So yeah, there's a complete manual that comes with any pack that you purchase. Well worth watching. So Chloe's just made up the slip solution, and we've got a piece of test PPF here. So the idea being to check, basically we've got our ratios of slip solution to water correct. From what I can gather, you can't have too much slip, but you can have too little, and that makes the PPF really hard to work with. So we're going to just practice on the back door here. It's probably the flattest panel on the car, and well, I guess we just need to give it a whirl. So I need this, I need my squeegee, and now I've got this, magic of editing. So you spray the door down with the slip solution. Make sure that Chloe's got wet hands, just so that we don't get fingerprints on the wrap itself, because once they're on the back, you basically can't get rid of them. And then we need to spray down the panel, and I don't know, let's give this a go. Let's see what happens. So I'm gonna start by putting my window up. Okay. If you want to line that up with the wet spot on the door, we're pulling it off, so it doesn't have to be perfect.
Just stick it on. Yep,
as it place it down. And the idea being, can we move it?
Yep.
Not easily. So I'm not going to do much more than that, just because we do have to take this piece off. But I mean, hopefully that came across on camera. That was super easy. And I know that we've got a lot more to do, but awesome. I'm happy with that amount of movement. That's nice and wobbly. Perfect. All right. Let's set up a time lapse and watch us do this back door. In theory, it'll look no different when we're done, and that's exactly what we want. Awesome, so we've just finished the back door. Chloe's just getting the last couple of little bubbles out of it and stuff. And I've got to be honest, it wasn't actually as hard as I thought it was going to be. It took a bit of time just to get it lined up nicely, but I'm pretty pleased with that. Like, it looks pretty good, and from my understanding, the last sort of little bits and pieces will smoothen out once it gets outside into the sun, which thankfully it's a real warm day, so when we're done, back it out and just let it sit there for an hour and warm up, and that's cool though. It has hidden the scratches, and it was honestly pretty easy. Like, the whole wrap just sort of moves around, and I don't know, it just worked. So I'm stoked. First panel down, 7 more to go. Yeah, it's pretty much hidden all of the scratches on that door. So I don't know if it's gonna come across the camera. There's a big one here, and see it, and then it's gone. How cool is that? Sweet. Oh, we're gonna do maybe this panel next, and then the front door, and then we've got the hard one, which is the snorkel, where I need to basically modify the cutout. Originally I was going to take the snorkel off, but it's a lot of work, so. Might not take too long at all. I reckon anywhere between an hour and a half and about 3 hours, depending on the size of your vehicle and the number of panels that you're doing. This is a smaller vehicle. Obviously got a few more panels than a wagon, but I reckon, yeah, maybe 2.5 hours while this wrapped up. Cool. Push on. Ba-dum. One more panel to go. We've just spent the last, I don't know, little while, a couple of hours, going around the car and just getting them all on, and like, you know, I haven't filmed everything because it's not that exciting once you've seen a couple of them. But it's got that front guard to go on the passenger side now, and kind of got another swing of it. Like, it's much easier and much simpler once you've done a couple of them, as I guess you'd expect. But yeah, it's looking good. You cannot, for the most part, tell where the panels have been added, which is exactly what I wanted, and at least sitting in the shop here, like, I don't know, it has hidden the majority of the scratches, and like where the dent was on the driver's door seems to be a little bit more subtle, so pretty stoked with that. Down to the last panel, and then I'm going to get the hairdryer out and just kind of seal up those corners. We've done the driver's side already, as it's sort of really awkward to get to at the moment. We'll do the passenger side and then drive it out to the sun, and fingers crossed, looks good. And done. So that was both really easy and slightly difficult at the same time. We've ended up with a couple of little bubbles. We need to just use the little needle syringe they provide with you to take them out, but I'm gonna let it sit in the sun for a few days and just, what's the word I want, like morph? Set, relax, yeah. The idea of a PPF is that it can be outside, it will kind of warm up and get soft and set properly, and you know, the water should evaporate out of it. So I'm gonna leave it alone for now. I'm stoked with how it has come out. Knowing that there is, you know, a sacrificial layer against bushes and stuff along the side of the vehicle is awesome. That means we can hit some of those tracks that we've been avoiding just because we haven't wanted to destroy, you know, fairly fancy car. So yeah, Bushwrapz, highly recommended. The install is fairly easy. Like, this has taken us, with a good lunch break, 4 hours? Yeah. Something like that, eh? 3 or 4, yeah. And I reckon if you kind of started earlier in the morning, you'd be done by lunchtime. And yeah, massive shout out to the team at Bushwrapz for providing this wrap to us. We really, really appreciate it. And if you want your very own one for your vehicle, jump on bushwrapz.com.au. It'll pop up with a little thing saying, are you in New Zealand? Press yes, if you are, obviously. And they'll give you New Zealand dollars and shipping to your door in the total amount, which is brilliant. Anyway, thanks heaps for watching. Please remember to hit the like button. Please remember to subscribe if you like Overland NZ. Like, I know it's just a button, but to us it's really, really cool to see the community grow and I guess, you know, see who's out there watching. Anyway, thanks to Chloe for being here too, actually. Can't forget her. Catch you next time on Overland NZ. See ya!